Mighty Radio.
Hello all and welcome to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me, my co-host, Guillermo Cita, Albert Cita. Today's show is brought to you by our fine line of sponsors.
Fake poster, Albert.
First is
yeah,
Rocking
but Conor
Green.
McGregor put it up, that's why.
First is Rocking Green, eco-friendly creative products, the 5
Yeah.
Rounds clothing, and of course, the RMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts. Gentlemen, so before we start the show, I got to ask you guys, I never really asked you guys, what team, Albert, Captain America or Team Iron Man?
I've always been with Team Iron Man. Even in the
Iron
comics, I was always with Iron Man's team.
Guillermo, Captain America or
Just to
Iron
be
Man?
different, but I'm really Captain America. Iron Man. I'll go Captain America.
Captain America.
That's like telling me like you'll go for John Cena and Roman Reigns. Never. Or the Warrior. You know what? He used to mark out to the Ultimate Warrior. That's I'm at that. He used to love him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The final numbers aren't in for Captain America and Civil War, but I'm pretty sure it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of huge, we got a huge show today. We got to talk about Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather. That rumor took the internet storm by on Friday. Ronda Rousey's is she a bully, guys? And also the upcoming DC John Jones bout and some other big time matchups added. So let's get started with round number 1, guys. So Friday afternoon or Friday morning. I don't know who started it, but reports came out that Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor are like super close to finalizing a bout that would take place sometime in July that would make up for Conor McGregor not being at UFC 200. It was strictly a boxing match. Quotes were given, like all these fake, I don't know if they're fake quotes or not, and like reports that Mayweather's company trademark TMT or TMM, whatever. What's his Team Mayweather? Or?
I think it's TMT.
TMT 50 and 0 because like he's trying to go for 50 and 0. It's gonna be Conor McGregor, and it was pretty much kind of like when it picked up everywhere. So when you guys first saw this headline, would you guys kind of like, is this for real or just kind of like a bad April Fool's joke, or did you thought maybe it was legit for a second there? So your thoughts on when you first saw the headline?
I didn't think it was legit at all. I mean, and it's starting to get a little bit of legitimacy just because now Conor McGregor, if you go on his Twitter account, he actually posted a poster of him and Mayweather facing off.
Yeah.
So I think the idea of.
But then again, McGregor likes to troll, bro.
That's true.
He's the trolling king.
But I mean,
troll master.
It's very intriguing if you're for Mayweather. I mean, like you're facing a guy that's never boxed before. This is boxing.
Yeah.
This is his expertise. So I mean, for him, it's. I have a feeling that he thinks it's an easy paycheck. So, and I'm sure everybody will tune in to watch.
Yeah. So, Albert, thoughts when you just first saw the headline? Like maybe you saw on your Twitter feed or something.
At first, obviously I was skeptical, and then I was like, it can't be too crazy, just because of this fact that Conor can ultimately expand his brand. Right? Mayweather loves to take fights that he can guarantee a 90% win. So it's not crazy.
And a 90% purse too, right?
Yeah, and a 90%. Yeah, I think I even saw one report out there that says something like Mayweather would take in like 100 mil and McGregor would take 10 mil out of that fight.
Yeah.
But it is funny because Mayweather also does it. It's like one of those things where like I don't know, maybe, but. It seems more like it's being played out more by the media than the actual.
So only I think a couple of MMA websites did not report that as a rumor, and like one of them actually said no, it's not going to happen at all. But the majority of them picked it up and said, "Oh, this is not a legit story, but like it actually was going to happen." So what's this kind of said to you on like the MMA media and media in general, where like any snippet of a potential blockbuster story, they're quick to run with it, just be the first out there, and like whether it be true or not.
Well, it's like everybody says about the media. Everybody wants to click the audience.
Yeah.
So they're gonna run away with it. But I mean, like legitimacy wise,
fishing for clicks,
not,
right?
Not until I hear a firm confirmation. I'm just gonna take it as a grain of salt.
But I will say this though, just to show you, like again, going back to Conor McGregor's brand and how he just pretty much shuts down the internet when he does anything.
Yeah.
The article that I have up and that I'm reading where I'm getting all my stuff is CNN. Just to show you, I mean, CNN covered this whole debacle here, and I think that's just a testament to Conor McGregor's good branding.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done so good as far as branding himself that when this came up, I mean, CNN got a hold of it. When was the last time you saw those type of headlines in other sports?
Yeah. So it's a good thing for boxing. Well, is it a good thing for the sport of boxing and MMA? That is Mayweather good for boxing? Like I'm not like a boxing super like diehard fan, but I'd love to get your opinion. Is Mayweather good for boxing?
The argument has always been that Mayweather is just a beautiful counter puncher and whatever. Yeah. But the problem is that style is boring. It requires a lot of dodging in the fight, and a lot of fans translate that into the guy's scared to fight and the guy doesn't like to engage when it's actually a tactical thing. But so in that aspect, it's bad for boxing because it gives the perception that boxing is really boring.
Yeah.
But he's good for it because like today's a good example. I mean, other than Canelo, what are you hearing about boxers stuff like that?
Yeah.
There's a couple big boxing fights that took place this month. I didn't hear nothing about Victor Ortiz or I barely hear a little splash here and there, but. Yeah, this the Rocky Maivia versus
the dream matchup is there. I mean, we had James Toney come into the MMA world, and we saw what happened. We've never had an MMA fighter step into the boxing world, and I think it would be a good reflection. That's respect to each.
I was gonna say too, if they do box and Mayweather wins, maybe he can close the door finally and saying like, see, we told you these guys' hand speeds and hands aren't as good as boxers.
Keep it real. The only time we're ever going to see McGregor and Mayweather in the same ring at the exact same time, it's going to be during WrestleMania, guys. So it wouldn't be like just here's my wrestler, that's your wrestler.
Vince, make it happen.
Make it happen, Vince. WrestleMania 33. So that's it for round number one.
Promoter.
Yeah, rumors about. So stick around for round number two. We're going to ask the question if Ronda Rousey's a bully or not. So stick around. All right, time for round number two. Let me ask you guys' opinion. Paige Vanzant, does she look like she would be mean to anybody at all?
She's adorable.
Adorable.
She won my heart in Dancing with the Stars.
PVC.
She got a perfect
gauge,
score.
Team Alpha Male on Death with the Stars, killing it.
I mean, she has the same person as
laid back, right?
Known to be laid back. Everybody likes him except for Dominic Cruz.
That's the general consensus, right? Paige Vanzant. Yeah. I just want to. How you doing, Paige? Just go up and shake your hand.
Even after that vicious loss against
Rose Namajunas,
yeah,
she's classy.
Still classy till the end.
So why would anybody want to go up to Paige Vanzant and even say anything negative towards her whatsoever? Can you guys imagine that?
No.
Well, reports coming out that Misha Tate was on Joe Rogan's podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, earlier this week, and the total story that Paige told her about Ronda Rousey confronting her for a tweet or congratulating Holly Holm when she shocked the world and defeated Rousey by knockout in UFC 192, 194, whatever it was. There's a lot of expletives here, so I'm not going to explain it, but paraphrasing, Tate told Rogan that there was doing a Reebok shoot that Ronda Rousey went up to Paige Vanzant and called her a fair weather fan or B-word, and how dare you cross me? You congratulated Holly Holm. You picked the wrong side to be on, and you're a blah 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 blah. Expletive, and I guess I first thought okay, maybe Tate, she doesn't like Ronda Rousey. Maybe she's like fishing here or starting rumors up, whatever. But Paige Vanzant confirmed it to TMZ, and she said that it was very shocking and totally unnecessary. So I mean, you guys read the dialogue that Tate and Rogan had. So just thoughts on this and like why is this like what's up with this? Like,
well, to me it seems like Ronda Rousey is one of those people that takes everything
personally.
Yeah, personal. Sometimes you see in the world of sports, there's a winner and a loser every single time. Some people are humble about it, some people are not. And some people take certain criticism to heart. And it seems like Ronda Rousey takes that criticism a little bit too hard. And not only will she be not agreeing with you, but she'll confront you about it. And I think that's what she did with Paige Vanzant.
But from what I saw, it was like a tweet. Paige Vanzant just put add new and tag Holly Holm. That's it.
And I totally understand that, but some people take it personal.
Albert.
It's funny because it's funny because I have never been able to get behind Ronda Rousey, even though I feel like me and her can be best friends because we literally like the same stuff. I mean, we like pro wrestling, we like Pokemon, we like WoW. I mean, me and her have a lot in common. I'll tell you that right now. But I can never get behind her. But that's why. It's because of her. It's the little glimpse of attitude that you see when you hear stuff like that.
Or just see her at the weigh-ins type of thing.
And she reminds me, and I'm pretty sure everybody out there knows that person that takes it too seriously.
Yeah.
And they just cannot have fun because they're always trying to take it too serious. Like, come on. There's times when you gotta show professionalism and be able to take one to the chin. So, literally. You know what I'm saying?
So what is that like? She shows sides of this for completely, attacking Paige Vanzant, but then goes on the Ellen show and starts crying and says she's still undefeated. You know, like what?
Yeah.
What is that? Is this a good PR person? Like you're gonna cry today, all right? So people get behind you.
But then again, she wants to be the person to be the biggest role model for women and stuff like that. But then you get these little slip ups. That's straight up bullying. There's no way around it. You're a bully. That's what you were doing. One and two. Even like going back to that one, she mentioned something about like, all I can think about was having Travis Browning's baby. Oh, that's a good
example for women. Yeah, for what women want to be.
When you get into corporate America, I think there's two personalities. You have the personality of political correctness.
Yeah,
and I think that's the what she tries to do in front of the camera in the Ellen DeGeneres show. In front of the camera, she says the right things, but that's not really her.
Yeah,
what she really is, and I can see that for her playing video games. I met a lot of people. I play video games all the time. I mean, you have those people that go on rages,
go on Xbox Live or PlayStation
and
Network,
start effing you on video games. I can see that because it seems to me that she has that video game personality.
Yeah.
So that's the real Ronda Rousey. And when she get put in front of the camera, it's funny how this happened out, away
during the
from
photo shoot, yeah.
Yeah, but away from the photo shoot or whatever, behind, cameras and stuff like that, it's just retelling you the story.
And see,
you're able to see the real Ronda Rousey.
And that's exactly why I can't get behind John Bone Jones. I think it's the same thing. They try to put on like a persona here, but who they really are is that type of person. Like John Jones, I feel the same way. He takes things too seriously, and he acts like, no, I'm just playing around too. But no, you're not, bro. You're butthurt right now.
You know what sucks? Though? I think the way the UFC is structured right now, these fighters cannot be themselves because they have to satisfy the sponsor the UFC brought in. They have to satisfy the Reebok, Bud Light, Budweiser. They have to sasatisfy them. Where like Mayweather could be himself because he's in the business for Floyd Mayweather, not for anybody else. So
same thing with Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, he can't. He's part of the most where he could be himself, but he's in the business for the UFC, not for Conor McGregor. So if Ronda Rousey was like in the Floyd Mayweather, I'm sure she could do whatever she wants, say what she wants, and still get the money sponsored. But the fact that she has to please these specific sponsors approved by the UFC, she has I'm sorry, I'm Miss Polite, John Jones, I'm Mr. Polite. But then when you see, like I said, when the lights are off, we see who they really are. So, but I mean, I thought it was an interesting story, a little different from what we usually talk about. But I mean, come on, Paige Vanzant.
She's a sweetheart.
She's a America's sweetheart.
I love her.
UFC sweetheart. Dance with the Stars. I watch it every Monday now because of her.
I haven't seen Dancing with the Stars in a while until Paige Vanzant's been on it.
Anyways, all right, that's it for round number 2. A little over. Coming up, we're going to talk about the upcoming John Jones versus Daniel Cormier bout. So it should be fun. So that's coming up next. Time for round number 3. UFC 200 is going to take place in July. It's only a couple months away, with the anticipated rematch between John Jones and Daniel Cormier coming up as the main event. So now it's got a lot more headlines to talk about it now, a lot more trash. Not trash talking, but they're doing a lot more media outlets.
There's more trash out there.
They're doing a lot more media outlets to promote the fight. As we get
closer to the fight.
Yeah, and John Jones's main coach, Mike Winklejohn, was actually talked to the, I think, MMA Junkie, or one of them two, or MMA Junkie Radio this week, and talk about the game plan for DC. And she said this fight's going to be a lot more easier this time around because there's more time to prepare for it. So to quote, we've been training for it for a while, so I think it's going to be an easier fight for John. Overall game plan, we know we can win here, and we're going to get more detailed on the tactics as you get closer and closer to it, and you find out what works and what doesn't work. So you start fine-tuning, but almost immediately you put together an overall strategy. You start fine-tuning, and the closer you get. So, and quote, what do you guys think about that quote? And do you like hearing from coaches more than fighters, or vice versa, or what do you guys like hearing?
The only thing I don't like about hearing about coaching is you don't really get the details until after the fight.
Yeah, well,
of course you don't want to reveal anything. That's the only downside about it. But it just sucks sometimes because I think this is taken out of context a little bit.
Yeah.
Because John Jones won the first fight, so obviously whatever they had game plan for the first fight worked.
Perspective.
Yeah.
And then you had the first. And he did win.
Perspective, bro.
So then you had the first fight that was rescheduled now for UFC 200. So now you have even more time to prepare that game plan that was successful the first time around. So I can see where he's coming from, where it's like we had something that works. We're making it even better. And now we even have more time to make it even better.
Yeah.
So and it's just, if you take it in that perspective, he said the correct thing. It's just, again, sometimes you say things and it gets taken out of context.
Well, there's one guarantee he did put. They asked him, "What can you look at?" He's all, Jones is going to hit him with some really, really hard elbows.
That's a given. Those elbows are deadly from John Bon Jones. That's Machida.
Albert.
Before I get to what he said, let's not forget that Asantao will finally make his return at UFC 200.
That's later on. You're jumping.
I know,
you're
but
jumping, bro.
I just like the.
You can call bury the lead. So.
Anyways,
focus.
I like a mixture of when it's the coach and the fighter. One, it's obvious that the coach can't give away too much. That's obvious. But I always like the mixture as far as showing some kind of training method, how they're approaching it this time around, and obviously they can't go into great detail. But I've always appreciated the mixture of it. I think that's why I gravitate towards more when they do the boxing, the 24/7 one, just because it doesn't necessarily just highlight the fighter, but you also get a lot of the trainer, a lot of the coach background, and I think that just adds to it. But I also don't like when it's like the story's more with the coach than the fighter. To me, that's always like, okay, come on, let's keep it real. Everybody knows what really matters, which is the fight itself. I'm not saying in this occasion. The question was, what do I think about coaches? You know, I
think in MMA, we tend to forget that not enough credit goes to these coaches a lot of the times. I mean, we talk about AKA, but we really don't talk about Javier Mendez and what he does.
Yeah.
We talk about what's the fight camp. Man,
Greg Jackson's
camp / Winklejohn.
Yeah.
But we don't really talk about Greg Jackson and Winklejohn. We talk about the fighters that they produce, but we really don't know any other background.
Do you think like sometimes, I know this is kind of like we're getting to the promotional aspect of it. Do you think sometimes a head coach can help a fighter maybe shine more? Like, what if like Matt Hume has a really great personality and he maybe talk for Demetrius Johnson? Maybe that could get more people hyped up for.
Are you saying that some people need a Paul Heyman in their life?
Or because like a Teddy Atlas, or sometimes the most the biggest quotes for a boxing match are coming from Freddie Roach. Crap type of thing.
Well, if you look at the Manny Pacquiao stuff, most of the stuff is Freddie Roach.
Yeah,
it's not.
Manny Pacquiao's a little bit
Manny
more
Pacquiao.
Conservative, more quiet, more. I mean, he's religious to begin with, so I'm sure he doesn't say bad things about certain individuals.
So you guys you won't be opposed to head coaches getting more of a spotlight in MMA, or is that kind of you think difficult because the UFC doesn't probably want them all about the fighters?
No, I think there's a good balance right now.
Yeah.
I don't see why. And like I told you, I don't think it's gotten to a point.
I think it's a good thing. I'll give you an example. Dwayne Ludwig. I mean, it did was
that was a negative one.
No, but I think
so.
The Uriah Faber TJ Dillashaw thing, it's becoming a big deal because of Dwayne Ludwig. That's why we want to see that fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I created more drama, right? So now we want to see
it. It really did.
I mean, this is a good balance.
Yeah, but at some point, the Ludwig story outshined everything else, which was kind of like, come on.
No, because now it's bringing the TJ Dillashaw versus Uriah Faber a lot more personal.
Oh yeah, that's why I like it now. A lot more personal. So, maybe Matt Heyman, if you listen to this, go out there and speak for DJ a little bit.
Speak for DJ. Maybe you have the Paul Heyman in you.
Yeah, but your client, Demetrius Johnson, wants to say something right now.
And you're just an advocate.
So that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a quick little break and come back and talk about all the upcoming fights that were announced by the UFC. So please stick around this short little break. All right, now it's time to enter the championship rounds. This week, the UFC announced a slew of matchups. So we're going to take the last 2 rounds and talk about them all. Those are the big ones anyway. So round number 4, Melendez versus... These are all kind of set on UFC on Fox 20, taking place in July 23rd. So Gilbert Melendez versus Edson Barboza, Holly Holm versus Valentina Shevchenko, and Anthony Johnson versus Glover Teixeira. So let's go to the first one. Your thoughts on Melendez versus Barboza, Guillermo?
I like it. For Barboza, he's on a hot streak. For Gilbert Melendez, he has to prove again because of the failed drug test that he's still a high caliber fighter. I mean, was it because of the drug use, or was it, does he really have the skills, and does he still belong in that weight? I mean, in that high elite status. I haven't seen Gilbert Melendez in a very long time.
Last time he fought was June 13th, 2015, UFC 188 in Mexico.
So almost a year ago. So I think it's a good test for Gilbert Melendez before if he does win, you have the elite top contenders at that weight class at 155, and so Edson Barboza, he's trying to get into that elite class, and after his last show. And now with the win over
Pettis,
he beat Anthony Pettis, and now Gilbert Melendez. You're talking about 2 world class athletes at that weight class. One's a former Strikeforce champion, the other one was a former WEC champion, a former UFC champion. Yeah. So you can talk about Edson Barboza's resume. It looks great with the win over Gilbert Melendez.
Albert, do you agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I think that was the only logical thing to make, one because Barboza's on the way up, and Gilbert Melendez, we got to figure out where he's at. About I liked all the new matchups. One of the big ones that
you're bouncing around.
I know,
the game
but
plan.
just because I think you missed it was the Anthony Rumble Johnson.
He did say
Did you say that one?
We're gonna go one by one.
He's not
I'm just making sure you said
we
it.
have 5 minutes here, bro.
I'm just making sure you said that one. Anyways, going back to it. No, it's a good matchup. I like it.
Okay, so Holly Holm versus Valentina Shevchenko. Also taking about.
I hate it. I really hate it.
Why?
It just shows the disrespect to Holly Holm. I mean, like, at
Really?
least, yeah, I think so. I mean, like, to me, if this is not a number one contendership, I don't want it.
Yeah, Valentina's coming off a loss to Amanda Nunes. So.
See? So lost to Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is fighting Misha Tate, right?
This is gonna be her third bout in the UFC. She beat Shara Kaufman, lost to Amanda Nunes. Now she's gonna fight Holly Holm.
Yeah, I would put a bigger name against against Holly Holm. It just shows to me the disrespect to Holly Holm just for beating Ronda Rousey.
You agree, Albert?
I'm at to disagree. First of all, Amanda Nunes is fighting for the belt.
I totally agree.
right off the bat. So it's not like it was like whatever loss. And Sarah Kaufman was a former champion, and
so Valentina's legit in your book?
I wouldn't say
She's not a recognizable name to the no more UFC fans.
But I think you still have to give Holly Holmes different angles, especially people forget too. Before beating Ronda Rousey,
I just think Dana White's not convinced with Holly Holm.
Well, it's kind of
she had
funny.
a bunch of decision wins. And
Look at,
I don't know why people forget that she had a lot of holes you were able to see at first.
Well,
but why don't you slay the giant and then you lose the very next matchup to a very, 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 very good person, and now you're back. It seems like you're back in the
but
bottom
you're
10.
not though, because
that's what it seems like though.
This is a credible fighter though.
I think, totally agree with that, but
I think it was
there's more
different.
marketable names for Holly
Everyone
Holm.
wants a sexy fight.
But okay, but
I do want a sexy
there is no
fight.
sexy fights out there for her right now.
Liz Carmouche, what's she doing?
Come on, let's come, dude. She's on a losing streak. First of all,
But the name though, Ken Zingano.
but that's even worse. Look, the last 3 bouts, she's 2 and she
Sarah
has 2
McMahon?
losses and 1.
Who Benj Correa? Maybe.
Wait for Ronda Rousey. That matchup is there.
No, I think
Ronda Rousey.
I think Holly Holm wants to keep fighting. But,
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they could.
It's a good match. It's a good match.
So, last one: Anthony Johnson versus Glover Teixeira. Albert, go.
Thank you. It's about time. As soon as that fight ended with Glover Teixeira, I said it. I was like, the only matchup there for Glover Teixeira and the one that I would only care about is Anthony Rumble Johnson, because you have 2 guys who like to stand up, heavy hands. Right? There's gonna be it's a guaranteed knockout.
So it kind of seems like
it makes sense, but it's the worst matchup you
how?
can have.
Because
Glover
it's
Teixeira
almost-
already lost to John Jones. Why don't you just put just hold on Anthony
you
Rumble
need-
Johnson and
honestly-
face John
No,
Jones?
To me, it seems like Johnson's taking a step back facing Glover Teixeira.
Exactly. I
To
totally
me.
agree. He has more to lose out of this fight. He has the guaranteed John Jones fight
Yeah.
if he just waits it out.
But no, see, you guys forget. Okay, yeah.
We've seen Glover Teixeira versus John Jones.
Glover
We saw what
Teixeira
happens with
lost to
Glover.
John Jones, but you're forgetting that DC beat Anthony Johnson. So you're not seeing the other side of that.
But what
coin.
have you always said that John Jones has a
but
weak
DC
chin?
if
You've
DC
always said that.
No, but if
You've
DC
always said
beats
that,
John
and so
Jones,
Rumble
no.
Johnson has the power
You're
to
not
knock him
listening.
out.
Look, if DC beat John Jones, guess who's the champion?
DC.
And guess who who Anthony Rumble Johnson
okay,
has
so
lost
now
to?
we see Glover Teixeira versus
exactly.
DC.
And I'm just saying that it's the same situation. That's why this is like to me, it's a first contender eliminator.
Let's keep it real. If we see DC win, it's an upset.
Wow, nope, that's not the way I see it.
That's a good round. We got one more round coming up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. Time for more fiery matchups that are announced. Albert Cena, you jumped the ball again.
I forget. I talked to a Cena lover over here.
What?
So it gets irritating to me.
This is not wrestling. This is not pro wrestling.
It's
John
so real to
Jones.
me,
John
Janet.
Jones at this point
It's the same
is
thing,
still
bro.
the best fighter
the same
out there
thing.
at light heavyweight.
So you gotta assume he's gonna
He
win.
has not lost his belt.
I heard kids say the same thing about John Cena.
Oh my!
So get out of here, bro.
John Jones proves it out in the ring.
You can't see John Jones, Albert.
John Jones beat DC the first time around. I don't know what.
I bet Superman's a good.
Did he
comment
forget
too,
that
isn't
happened?
Superman's
It
a
wasn't
good
even a
comic
year
book, too.
ago that John Jones beat Daniel Cormier.
Superman's a good comic.
We're
too,
going from 3
Yeah.
bouts that were confirmed now to 2 bouts that are strongly rumored to take place very soon. One is
Statistics.
Rafael Assunção versus TJ Dillashaw at UFC
Fine.
200. Albert, talk about this.
First of all, Assunção's been out since 2014, so he pretty much
Wow.
skipped 2015.
Well, no duh. That's good math there.
You know, I'm pretty good at math. And so he is technically before the TJ lost his belt. That was the talk of town. Assunção had the last win over TJ Dillashaw.
He was supposed to.
And he was supposed to fight him a couple times.
Yeah, no, he was supposed to fight. Was he supposed to fight Barao, right? But he was hurt,
Hannah
so
Barao,
TJ
yes,
Dillashaw
that's true.
jumped in for him. So
Yeah. So I think this is about long term coming. But the only thing that sucks is this matchup would have been good if both guys would kind of be a little bit better in their careers right now. And it sucks because Santos been out for a year, and you know how that goes sometimes. It's either
2 years now.
It could be either or. I mean, Nurmagomedov looked fabulous, but he came in. I wouldn't say it was a warm up fight, but it was an easier fight than what was out there. And in a sense, technically, it's starting at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Let me break it down to this guy. TJ Dillashaw wants to wait for the winner out of Dominic Cruz versus Uriah Faber.
Or what?
So the thing is, what's going to motivate TJ Dillashaw to fight before then? It's revenging his loss to Rafael Assunção. That's what it really comes down to. And what Dana White probably said to him, hey, if you fight at UFC 200, you're still lined up perfectly to fight the winner out of the Uriah Faber, Dominic Cruz. I think it's more that way than...
I mean, that's the story of Assunção saying... Technically, I've never got my title shot. This was supposed to be my title shot. Technically, I could have beaten Hannibal out too. So maybe I'm the uncrowned champion in some alternate universe here. That that was my title shot.
Of course, for Assunção, he takes it again because he's been such a long layoff. But for TJ Dillashaw, it's motivation. Like, let me avenge my loss.
Just to show
it
you
makes perfect sense.
How big of a hypocrite he is. Because the perfect story here is TJ Dillashaw waits for the winner at Uriah Faber.
Didn't I say that Rumble Johnson should wait?
That's why you're being a hypocrite. But now you're saying, no, TJ Dillashaw should
I'm just saying that's the motivating factor of him taking the fight. If I'm TJ Dillashaw, I wait. But because he wants to avenge his loss, he's gonna take Assunção.
We're all hypocrites in the podcast world.
Anyways, do I love the bout? Yes. Do I think they should do it now? No.
Yeah. So
I really wait, right? You wait. No, just like Rumble Johnson, you wait.
And I'm more for Assunção. I wish Assunção would took a different opponent and then TJ Dillashaw.
It's also UFC 200, so they think the one.
Depending on whose shoes you're in. So if I'm Assunção, I take the fight. If I'm Glover Teixeira, I take the fight because you got nothing but to win out of this. You get a title shot potentially if you're Assunção and if you're Glover Teixeira.
Yeah, and I see because the difference between him and Nurmagomedov, or apparently I always say it wrong. Khabib. The difference here is Khabib stayed active in social media. He still was able to grab some headlines here and there. And
he got in a fight with the Diaz brothers in Vegas.
Yeah, in a sense, essentially disappeared for a whole year.
I don't even know where Assunção trains at. I don't even know if he knows English.
So it does.
Good point.
When you break it down like that, it does make sense that he has to make a statement right off the bat. Because he's been gone for so long.
All right, we got one. That's too much time to talk.
Sorry. Well, you got me excited.
Tyron Woodley versus Robbie Lawler, targeted for UFC 200. Finally.
Love it.
Finally.
Yes,
finally.
Good.
I love it.
Yeah, there's talks about maybe Conor McGregor getting up in there and Nate Diaz getting up in there, but it's like they're going to go with the more deserving fighter, Tyron Woodley. UFC 201.
I'm just surprised Tyron Woodley took so long to get a title shot, to be honest.
That's what he said.
He was just the...
And then again, he did to my boy Rory Mack, and you got to go through Rory Mack.
But Rory Mack already got a title shot.
But I'm just saying, you got to go through that. You still
but my thing is, what does Tyron Woodley have to do to get a title shot? And then finally he gets it.
Apparently just wait.
Yeah, and look, what did I say, man? All you gotta do is wait.
Yeah, wait. But that should be, I think, an explosive.
But then look at Tim Kenny, dog.
Yeah, so am I can expect them to trade and bang.
I mean, whether or not you don't like Robbie Lawler, I know you don't, Albert. But
I know he
this
doesn't.
guy, I mean, he goes out there and swings for the fences.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll take exchanging with Tyron Woodley any day. Tyron Woodley will knock you out, bro.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
If Robbie Lawler wants to exchange,
it's funny how he's already crowning Tyron Woodley the champion.
If he wants
to refuses to crown John Jones,
if he wants to crown Daniel Cormier the champion
with Tyron Woodley, please. Then my boy Rory Mack comes in.
That should be a fun bout. A lot of exciting matchups to talk about too coming up. So the UFC was. I'm always more excited about these ones they announce like through the media instead of these big old press conferences, right? Yeah,
these were a lot more juicier
than the whole unstoppable press conference, whatever. But they're gonna do what they want to do. So that's it for this week. Make sure to tune in next. Until next week, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on those social media platforms at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIV. And if you guys are asking, hey, Albert, Alex, Guillermo, what about the Arlovski versus Overeem? Well, this is we're recording right now during the fight, so and it's Mother's Day weekend, so we had stuff to do. So
we have reservations.
So we'll talk about that. Yeah, reservations. So we'll talk about that next week. Social media, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. You can listen to this podcast at FightBookMMA.com under the podcast page. That's FightBookMMA.com. And a big thank you to all of our sponsors. First, the Rocking Green eco-friendly cleaner products, the 5 Rounds clothing line, which I'm rocking this shirt right here, and of course the RMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts. I don't think I missed anything, right, guys?
No, you got it.
I think you went down the line.
Cool. What do you got?
Thanks everybody for listening.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.